My name is Big Rich. I'm from San Francisco, California. Rap artist and the owner of my own, well, you can't even call it after school program. I have an organization that teaches music, fashion design, film production, photography, everything under the sun. We have a radio station for the youth of San Francisco. So we have around 54 students, 762 Fulton Street. It's called projectlevel.org. You can go check us out. I have a good friend, his name is Chris, you know, one of the founders of the Jabberwockies and all that, and I follow him real intensely, and friends with Roger, who was another partner over here, just met Romeo. But they told me, I saw the launch of it in Las Vegas, and I was real intrigued by it because we're always back and forth doing business out there, so I wanted to visit. And right when I was hitting him to go out there to go visit him, he told me like, yo, we opening up the spot in San Francisco. I said, San Francisco, that's crazy. So he invited us down. Highly impressed. This is phenomenal. Just like the location out in Las Vegas, I love where District is going, and I think that San Francisco needed something like this. You know what I mean? Like we don't have anything for the hip hop culture, I would say, for the youth. You know what I mean? To come in here at any level to learn the essentials and all this, to be themselves, to be free. That's kind of similar to what we do at Project Level. So the connection between District and Project Level has a lot of levels to it. You know what I mean? So it's cool.
Why don't you talk about Project Level then?
Yeah. Well, what we do is we trying to create in the 2015 what we call a Renaissance artist, where they do everything. You know, artists nowadays, I feel like Kanye West is probably one of the first to start doing that, from clothing design himself, not just wearing another brand, but actually designing the brand, down to making his own beats, shooting and directing his own music videos, designing his own artwork, getting really fully behind that. And that's kind of what we want to build at Project Level. We bring them in on an artist level and kind of expose them to every other asset, other facet of the industry. And longevity, you know, like photographers can last, like yourself, a videographer, you can have a 50-year run. You know, you can do this stuff. Rappers is lucky to have that 2 to 3 run of popularity or whatever, or being at the height of their career. So we just breed that. We give tangible opportunities, is what we like to call. We have a kid named Louis V that was signed to Universal Records at 16 years old, excuse me. So he's been down there the last 2 years. He's produced everything from Wiz Khalifa to Chris Brown and Tiger and different things like that. Our youngest, or actually my daughter, my 7-year-old, just completed a year-long campaign with Coca-Cola. She has a nationwide campaign with Coca-Cola commercials, different things like that. So just giving the kids the opportunity to actually jump into the industry on a professional scale. That's Project Level in a whole. It's giving them more than just the training. We start with the training and we give them tangible opportunities. Because we're a melting pot out here, right? And sometimes, I mean, hip-hop is definitely liberated enough for hip-hop to grow out here, but in the metropolitan part of San Francisco, it's kind of shunned upon a little bit. Like, we would love to get a hip-hop in the park type situation. That's actually one of the goals of Project Level, is to finally be able to get like a Golden Gate Park and be able to get a real hip-hop festival out here. More than just like, I mean, we've had everybody from the Kanye West and but we've also had the Lady Gagas and all that type of stuff to be able to headline it. We want to be able to get our home base. You know how like New York has Jay-Z and has Nas and different things like that, and what they represent. We want to be able to breed artists out here and get to that stature and mean that much to the city. You know what I'm saying? Like Jay-Z can sit down and have lunch with the mayor of New York anytime he wants. But we want to be able to get the San Quins and the Selskis and different rappers out here to be able to get to that stature of political power, political influence. And I think that that's why I've been getting a lot of support with what I do, because it wasn't no rappers that actually tried to make that transition. I come from street element, my music was street, so to see me, like I said, me and my partner Danielle, we was just at City Hall yesterday meeting with constituents and doing, like, it's rare. I'm up in there talking to police officers. They used to arrest us 5 years ago. You know what I'm saying? And now they doing gun buyback events with us, where we're going to buy over 150 guns and take them off the street, take them out of the houses, so you don't get to them and do something stupid with them. And it's tripping the captains out, because they're like, oh man, that's Big Rich. They probably was trying to put together a case on me 5 years ago. You know what I'm saying? And now they finna buy back 150 guns off the community. You know what I mean? So just different things like that. We just want to have that kind of presence. And I know hopefully I can spark the brain, but I also want our other legends to be able to step up. You know what I mean? And do the same kind of thing. It just be respected from City Hall. San Francisco, the only place rappers come and get robbed. We've robbed everybody in this city, from Nas and his QB chain to Sean Kingston and his crayon box to Tupac. Man, like Fillmore dudes robbed Tupac 20 years ago. You know what I'm saying? Like this is stupid. this is the only place with dress codes and, well, Vegas too, but that's a different level. But you know what I mean? It just, we kind of want to tear down the stigmas and the bad stuff that's been happening in the city. Well, I mean, it's a give and take on that too. I just recently heard Jermaine Dupri say it at the Revolt conference. We was in Miami at Diddy's big Revolt conference and stuff, and they said he said it live on stage that he felt that Houston and the Bay Area is the two most copied regions in the country. Like from slang to our style to different things that we do out here, we trendsetters in the Bay Area. It's been known for that. Like it's like everyone from from E40 to Too Short to the style of rap that Too Short does, down to even with the new kids like I Am Sue and all them is doing right now in the Bay Area. Like trendsetters always been new. Mac Dre, the whole hyphy movement. Like the hyphy movement has sparked off into this whole new movement of DJ Mustard and the sound, the heavy 808 beats and different things like that. We've always influenced them, but we never had somebody big enough to represent that and kind of own the style. So it's kind of like it's a myth. It's like, well, how do you know he stole that from somebody from the Bay? You can't prove it because we don't have no artist that was big enough. Business is messed up. I think the independent rap game is our gift and our curse. We able to make money independently and don't need a major. But then we also make dumb mistakes because we not always supposed to be in that position to be in there talking to them suits. We can't get intellectual like them. They're gonna always eventually outthink us. So I used to always be the artist like, nah, I want a record deal. I don't want to be all the way independent. If it ever come back to it, I know what to do. But we need these people to walk in there for us and speak for us sometimes. We scared of lawyers out here. We scared of everything. Like we scared, artists out here scared of business. You know what I mean? They thinking that they're gonna get robbed, and you gotta share the money, man. That's how you make bills. You can't make all the money by yourself. You know what I mean? So that's kind of how I feel about that. So the content, I believe, is up to par. It's the business that's not. Because I feel like music-wise, we do make a lot of great music compared to what New Orleans was making when nobody understood Master P. But its business is on point, and now New Orleans is a hotbed for music, from Cash Money to Jay Electronica to whoever, Lil Boosie. These dudes is dominating the charts. And 20 years ago, nobody cared about what they were talking about in New Orleans. But Master P's business savvy, which he got from Richmond, California, which is in the Bay Area, is what helped it. You know what I mean? So, but until we have a representation like a Jay-Z or somebody like that, it's gonna be hard. It's gonna be like Bay rappers just complaining about it. But I'm not trying to complain. I'm just trying to actually make a change with it. That's it.
I just want to head back right into the negative connotation aspect.
No problem.
Now, obviously, everybody knows this, but BET and all these other music industries and television shows and even the media empire, they have blackness.
Yeah.
So you feel like San Francisco is part of that blacklist or no?
You said blacklist?
Yeah.
Like yeah.
You said like everybody always copies off you, but you never get the credit because we never had somebody big here.
There you go.
But
it's a reason for that. It's a reason. And I go back to business. I just know everyone, like when you go back to all of the legends, I mean, not to tell everybody but Keep the Sneak is a close friend of mine. And he'll be the first, if he was here right now, he'll tell you his whole story, how he single-handedly fucked up his whole career. He did. Like, you know what I'm saying? By having to tell me when to go record, having all these labels wanting to sign him, and he made some business mistakes that he decided to take because he was his own boss, that ultimately messed up his whole opportunity to get that platform. And to have a deal on the table and to do one minor error because he didn't have 10 lawyers, a lawyer team, and everybody was suits on. Like, no, you go sit down, brother, we got this, we're gonna get you the maximum money. He kind of wanted to do it his way, and it messed up some things. And he humble enough to admit that. He humble enough to explain it. And I think that a majority of artists that I've talked to at that stature out here has all said the same thing. Business is bad, and they don't want to do business with you. It's like, why sit here and deal with a headache from this artist from the Bay Area when we can just go duplicate that sound down here in LA with a kid that already know the game and know what to do, and we can make this money and we don't have to deal with this. I mean, come on, man, this is the land of the Black Panthers. We always want to stand up and fight, right? That mentality, it bites us in the ass sometimes. You know what I mean? Like, it bites us, man, because it'd be like, all right, man, just chill. Let's just make some money sometimes. You don't always have to be a revolution, right? Especially with these business folks, they don't want to always fight you about something. You know what I mean? But it's in our mentality, it's in our blood to fight. So that's our gift and our curse. I feel like it's a stigma. We've had meetings. We sat down and they just be like, they know about all of these artists out here, and you be like, well, why ain't you off? Man, I'm not dealing with that. They will openly just say that, like, I can't deal with that guy. Like, You know what I mean? It's drug use, it's all kind of shit. They just be like, we're not gonna deal with it. But if that person had 2 lawyers and a management in front of them, they might deal with the managers, but they don't want to deal with you directly. You know what I mean? So, and content can be that too. Pro Tools and everything is made out here. Everybody got Pro Tools in San Francisco and the Bay Area. Any kid can just pick up a beat machine and just make a beat and call themselves a producer. So content is definitely involved in that. Like, but also too, for kids like Chief Keef and all them in Chicago to bubble up like that, it's proven that it's not necessarily all about content. It's more about the business side of him coming from that area and that region. He had people standing in front of him talking. They would have not given Chief Keef, that young hoodlum, $8 million contract from Interscope. They wouldn't have gave him that if he was the one up in there negotiating. They would have gave that kid $50,000 and said, look, this is the most money you ever seen in your life. Take it and run with it. They gave that kid $8 million. You know what I mean? And that was because of his representation. And he comes from that region that already has the Kanye West, the Commons, the Michael Jordans. He's from our young kids have nobody to look up to be like, I got to do it like Diddy. I got to do it like Jay. You seen all the stuff Jay didn't do? Well, I got to do it like that. You know what I mean? Like, we don't have, our cats is me and San Quinn, and I'm still figuring stuff out. That's why I'm trying to do this with Project Level. You know what I mean? So, different things like that. And sparking the brain. That's why I want Quinn, Selsky, every other legend from the city to step up and try to do the same thing I'm trying to do right now. Because I'm younger than them dudes. They in a way more influential position than I am right now. I'm still a kid compared to them. You know what I mean?
All right.
I always say just give it a 10,000%. I feel I'm addicted to work. I find fun in work. I feel like anyone that's in a position of success or power, they kind of feel the same way and they love to work. You can't just slide in this microwave generation where YouTube will give you that instant fame and it just turn over every night. That story, that backstory is what's gonna keep you here, man. Them trials and tribulations is really what's gonna build your character up to being a sustaining artist. So just work, man. Embrace the downfalls, embrace all of the setbacks and all that. That's gonna build your character up and make your story better. So when VH1 comes to you with this behind the music story, you actually got something to talk about. Instead of like, oh yeah, I dropped my song on YouTube, it got hot yesterday, now I'm platinum today, and then tomorrow I'm gone. You know what I mean? They ain't gonna come do no story on you if that's your story. So just work, man. Embrace the downfalls. It's gonna make you stronger, it's gonna make you better. Especially in this microwave